The New Jersey Family ABCs. That's what I'm running on, the Jersey Family ABCs. It's family autonomy, business, and core values. Because these are the things that New Jersey families care about. They care about their family autonomy. But Phil Murphy doesn't believe in family autonomy. He has kicked the front door off of your home and off of my home, and he's coming after our children. He's coming after our children in the area of education. The things that my sister and I learned as 80s kids at the kitchen table are now being taught at the classroom desk. Those things don't belong there. But Phil Murphy doesn't think New Jersey families are woke enough in order to teach their kids about social issues, and they're taking that away from New Jersey families. He's taking away their medical freedom. Some of these little kids running around here, they're not going back to school without a mandated vaccine. We know that they tried to eliminate the religious exemption 15 months ago for the flu vaccine. That predates coronavirus. We know what is coming in the next couple of months here before September. Listen, Phil Murphy is taking away our children's education. He's taking away our ability to make decisions for our own children when it comes to what gets injected into their bodies. My wife and I, we have 4 teenagers. My kids don't have anywhere near recommended doses of vaccines, but they have more than 0. You know why? Because I'm their father and Jennifer's their mother, and we've had the liberty to decide what goes into their bodies. The next generation is going to lose that if we don't take out Phil Murphy this November. And he doesn't believe in family autonomy when it comes to discipline. Recreational marijuana overwhelmingly passed on the ballot on this past November. And as a former Baptist pastor, I'll spare you my opinion of recreational marijuana. You can fill in the blank as you see it. But listen, I don't have a problem with it passing. I have a problem with what Phil Murphy tried to put in the legislation. If you're 21 years old, you can smoke weed, fine. But if my 13-year-old gets caught smoking weed and he gets picked up by the police in my town and brought home, it would be a 3rd-degree felony on the police officer, not my son, for breaking the law. Because they don't want police informing the parents about when their children are in possession of illegal substances. Now listen, New Jersey families freaked out about that. That's coming out of the bill, as well it should. But Phil Murphy has laid out his cards. He's shown us his hand. He's against family autonomy in the area of education, medication, and now also even discipline. And he's against small businesses. He's against family businesses. 1/3 of all small businesses in New Jersey are now gone, closed permanently. How does something like that happen? Because a tyrant in Trenton with an iron fist and a ballpoint pen unilaterally declared who was going to be a financial winner and who was going to be a financial loser by declaring who was essential versus who was non-essential. And as I mentioned, I have my real estate business. We do mostly residential work, and so my construction business was relatively unaffected. But my church in Hudson County, along with the entire faith community in New Jersey, was deemed non-essential, closed. And I knew after I read the executive order that it was ridiculous, because our church was going to be closed. The front door of that building was to be locked simply because the marquee over the front door said City Baptist Church. But it would have been open for business if the marquee over the front door said City Liquors. And that's why I knew before the ink was even dry on that executive order that I was not going to close our church, not for one in-person service. We were not going to mandate masks. We were not going to demand social distance. And we were not going to limit our capacity of the facility at all. And our church met straight through the lockdowns, because I don't believe it's the governor's job to step in and close down people's faith. I don't believe it's the government's job to keep us healthy. It's the government's job to keep us free. But Phil Murphy has failed to do that, and he's closed small businesses. He's against family autonomy, he's against family business, and he's against our family core values. There's core values that this nation was founded on. Our founding fathers, they put it in the documents. They said, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That means any 5-year-old could understand it. And these truths have been given to us by God, and they cannot be taken away. And these things that have been given to us are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And you know why they put life first? Because liberty and the pursuit of happiness are irrelevant if you're dead. Life is a core value. And Phil Murphy doesn't believe that life is a core value, and I'm not just talking about the 8,000 plus that he killed with his COVID policy by sending sick people into those facilities where the most vulnerable lived. I'm also talking about the unborn. Phil Murphy's crown jewel piece of legislation is called the Reproductive Freedom Act, and it has made its way through Trenton, and if it lands on his desk, he is going to sign it. And basically it says that a woman can terminate a pregnancy at any time in her pregnancy for any reason. Our palm cards are floating around here. You see that my wife Jennifer and I, we have 4 children, 3 biological, and our youngest is adopted from San Antonio, Texas. I'm so glad that his mother chose life. His birth mom chose life, and when he was 4 months old, she didn't feel that she could raise him on her own. And so she put him up for adoption, and he ended up in our family, and I'm so glad because that's how God rounded out the Rizzo family with 3 biological children and 1 adopted. But you know what? She chose life. And for our 3 biological children, as I mentioned, we've been through the birthing process. We know something about it. Jennifer knows more about it than I do, but I was there and I was cheering her on. And basically, when the bill says a pregnancy can be terminated for any reason at any time, that's exactly what it means. Like after the woman's water breaks and she's pushing and the baby is coming, that woman could say, I don't think I can raise this baby alone. And right there, that baby's life can be taken. And you know what? You're all going to pay for it because it's a state-funded procedure. The bill goes on to say that this woman can terminate a pregnancy for any reason at any time, regardless of domicile. It doesn't even matter if she lives in New Jersey. She could live in Ohio, or Oregon, or Mexico, or Italy, or Russia. Any pregnant woman on planet Earth, if she does not want to deliver a child, she can come to New Jersey, and you are all to pay for that termination. That's against our core values. Listen, you don't even have to be pro-life to be against something like that. This is a long way away from Bill Clinton's safe and rare. This is an attack on our core values, and this is the message that I've been sharing around the state. This is the message that is getting bipartisan support. You know why? Because Democrats have kids that have not been in school for 14 months, and their children's anxiety and depression is skyrocketing. That's not a red or blue issue. That's New Jersey families. Democrats own small businesses too, and you know what? They own restaurants, and their livelihoods are getting crushed. That's not red or blue. That's New Jersey families. I am a right-lane conservative, but I am running for all New Jersey families, the New Jersey family ABCs. And with your support, we will not only win on June 8th, but then we will incorporate the Democrats into our campaign, into the fold to send Massachusetts Murphy home once and for all. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming by.